Hey, I just wanted to take a minute and update my blog. Something's been going on that I thought we ought to talk about a little bit because it pertains to our church. And so many times I get a question from people about why we don't address particular issues here at the church. And I always go back to what our mission is. Our mission is to bring people one step closer to Christ, one step closer to God through Christ. And in so doing, so many times when we begin discussing certain issues, we stop seeing people, the very people that we are trying to help bring one step closer. We stop seeing them when we decide that we want to talk about issues. Now, I don't have anything wrong with trying to understand an issue about, thinking through it together in a group, but that's usually best done in a smaller group. If something maybe like a Bible study or a small group that's meeting on a particular topic, rather than being done in a large setting like a congregation on Sunday morning. It is very easy for people who are dealing with that issue to feel dehumanized by our discussion. Not that we would intend to do that, but it's very easy to do unintentionally and leaving people feel like they are not seen and not heard as a person, but simply as an issue. So let me speak to one thing that is going on that I think we just need to take a step back and we need to look at a little bit. There's a push on to allow churches to be able to endorse political candidates. And everybody that I see in my news feed on Facebook is hailing that as a good thing and it's about time. I really want to caution you on that for a couple reasons. What we have to remember is that politics is force. It's not influence, it's force. What we're basically saying is that we want to get together as a political group in order to make our views known. And there's always an implication that what that means is, and we want everyone else to have to live by what it is that we want, what we want to do. Whether it's through our tax system, that we want people who disagree with us to still pay for something that we believe in, or even if it's just the laws that we want to create surrounding this, what we're really saying is that we want people who don't hold our beliefs to have to either act or pay for something that they would not want to. And so we need to be really careful when we're saying that, because what happens if the shoe was on the other foot? What happens if somebody had a different set of beliefs, maybe even a different religion than we did, and wanted to make us do that? The only reason that we're so gung ho about this is because we feel like we have the upper hand. But we have to make our actions, our laws, and our tax system for people who don't have the upper hand. People who aren't in power have to be protected just as much as those who are. And so I really want to caution you when you begin talking about anything political that we want to make a law about, or we want to pass a legislation for, we want to make a tax of or pay for, that what you're really saying is that we want to force people who don't agree with this to have to live by this. And that is something that I don't think we recognize, and it's certainly a path that I don't think we want to walk down, especially when it comes to endorsing political candidates. As soon as we breach that wall, there will be a massive outcry to start taxing churches, to start shuttering churches, to make this a political football rather than being about our mission to bring people one step closer to Christ. And I'm not about ready to surrender that mission for any reason at all. We need to be about that. And that does not take money from political officials. It doesn't take power from political officials to do that. What it takes is the love of Jesus Christ flowing through each one of us, our willingness to do what no other people will do, and our willingness to give what other people won't give on a voluntary basis. That is what made the church so effective in the ancient times when Jesus was around and after Jesus left. That's what's going to make us effective again. And it's the only way that we have to spread the love of Christ, because the love of Christ is always voluntary, no matter what. So I hope that you'll think about that. Maybe even ask a question or two in the comments. you can go ahead and put your statement there as long as you're not offensive to people who disagree with you. And I would love to start that conversation and see what you have to say about that.